Hey everybody, I'm here today to tell you and more specifically show you how to use expanding foam insulation. This will be a full tutorial for beginners. So once again, the topic of this video, this specific video is about how to use expanding foam insulation, a full tutorial for absolute beginners. So as you can see right here, this is just an example of a can of expanding foam insulation. You can use it for many different purposes. I actually had a couple of holes in the cellar in my house, in the cantina, as I call it. I'm Italian, I grew up Italian, so I call it a cantina. There were some holes in the concrete where we had fed some wires through, and I just used this to sort of, fill in the holes, because I actually noticed a mouse crawl through one time. They had made their way somehow, because the cantina is like, it's underneath the porch, right? So they had made their way somehow into the area between the cantina and the house, right? There's a little gap there, and they had actually used the wire to sort of trevice, I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, trevice down, to climb down into the cantina. So I filled that hole right away, It's actually really, really easy to use this, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Now, before you start, I do want to tell you this. You most definitely need to wear gloves. I did not wear gloves the first time I used this stuff. Okay? I got some on my hands. Literally, it was there, like I got the stuff off, but the marks and the stickiness were there for a long time, till I learned how to get rid of the stickiness. And I'll be doing a separate video tutorial on how to remove it from your hands if you do get it on your hands. So I'm a trained professional. I'm joking, I'm not a trained professional, but I'm literally just gonna be using it right here. So first and foremost, you wanna assemble the can. Now, this is what it looks like when it comes out and it dries up, okay? But you want to assemble the can. So essentially, and hopefully I can get it to work, because I just pumped this out momentarily, just not too long ago. So hopefully it should still, it's not too dry, it should still work. Yeah, we should be okay. I can hear the air coming out of it. So essentially, you want to assemble the can. Your can is most likely going to come with a cap like this that twists in place and a straw connected to it. So what you want to do is get your cap, okay? You want to get your cap. You want to twist it in place on the lid. Okay, mine's a bit of a mess because I was just testing it out. And this is going to have a longer spout and a straw connected to it. So obviously I cut that off because it was all clogged up. But yeah, I mean, yours is going to have a longer spout. So what you're going to do is essentially when you're ready to use it, okay, I'll demonstrate and I'll show you what to do, and then I'll show you on this wooden door over here. I'm going to fill in a little hole, show you how it works. But when you're ready to use it, you want to shake it, okay? Shake it up quite a bit. And then you want to push the lever down. And when you push the lever down, as you can see over here, I'll show you in a moment, but when you push the lever down, it essentially makes the lid there, the spout, go on an angle. And when the spout goes on an angle, it releases the insulation foam, okay? Very, very easy. Now, I'm going to do it without this on, but obviously you want to do it with the cap on because it gives you more aim and stuff like that, but I'm going to do it without it on. So essentially, I'm going to take this off just because it's all clogged up anyways. So I'll show you what it looks like coming out of the spout, but obviously yours is going to be coming out of the straw. Let me just move the camera up over here. I have this old door from the house. I made a whole bunch of holes in it. You've probably seen this in other video tutorials. I've done honestly probably 20 to 25 videos with this little door. Okay, I never throw anything out. I just use it as like crazy. When I can't use it anymore, I throw it out. So essentially, you want to shake the can. That's going to get the stuff inside ready to be released. Okay, and then when you push your nozzle, what's going to happen is, okay, this is going to angle and it's going to let out some of the foam. Now you have to do it on an angle like this, right? You want the foam to come out. So I'm going to go like this. I'm just going to be pushing this down, but obviously you're going to use your lever to get it out. And I'll show you what it looks like. So let me just spray some in here. Like I said, this is why you got to use gloves. So I'll show you what it looks like. Let me get my arm out of the way. I'm going to get my feet out of the way, because once this stuff sticks to something, man, it's hard to come off cleanly. Don't forget that. So that's what it looks like. I'll show you again. Check this out over here. Okay, I want to try and just fill this area. Now it's going to come out more aggressively in your situation, probably because, is my arm in the way? No, you're good. Probably because this nozzle is basically fairly clogged already. So what I'm going to do, sorry about that, my garage lights they're on a motion sensor, so they just went off and I just have another light that's on there. Just like my main garage light. Now this stuff, you need to understand, it expands up. It gets bigger. So as you spray it, you can see it's getting bigger. It will continue to get bigger. And you want to follow the instructions on the can, but you're going to probably want to trim it down. So you want to spray it to be too big, and then you can always trim it down after. And when you trim it down, you want to make sure it's dry. So I always, like I've heard people say you can trim it down after a couple hours, but I honestly just wait 24 hours and then you're safe. But what I'll do is I'll continue spraying this in here like this, okay? Just to fill in this whole area. And what I'm going to do, because I'm going to do a separate video on trimming it up. So let me just fill it in over here, and I'll do a separate video tutorial once it's dry on trimming it up. But you can see right here how much it expands, how much it gets bigger. So watch that. Just take a look for a few seconds. You can see how much it gets bigger. Let's get a bit of a better camera angle right here. And like I said, you want to wear gloves because, like, honestly, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get myself dirty. And then there was foam all over my hands. This stuff just grows. So it's hard to control once you're in the motion of like spraying it. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm going to take my gloves off now. But that's essentially it. That is how to use expanding foam insulation. And when you're done, obviously read the instructions on the can. But what you can do is you can just spray a little bit of foam and let it sit on the spout here or at the end of the straw. And then when you're done, what you can do is you can cut the straw shorter and you'll still have fresh foam to be used. This seals it. So when you spray a little bit here, it seals it. So yeah, honestly, and I used this can a few times and now, you know, like I've probably already used this like 3 or 4 times. So it was just too clogged to use that straw. But they're, like I said, as long as you're wearing gloves, you know, wear disposable gloves and there's still other ways to use it. But that's essentially it. I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial. Yeah, like I said, I used it for the first time in the cellar, in the canteen, and then I used it a few times after that. So I figured I'd show you exactly how to use it in this instructional video tutorial. If you like this video tutorial, I said this so many times. I said the words video tutorial many times. Anyways, we're going to roll out this outro. We're going to roll this outro out so we can finish this video. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.